So today I saw a video by Prince Iya, I think is his name, and it was literally titled, "You Are Not Depressed." The caption said, "Sorry, but somebody had to say it." And then like the first couple sentences were, "You are not depressed. Stop saying that." And basically in the video, I didn't watch the whole thing because I was fed up. It's like 2.5 minutes long, but he's basically just like saying, it's a gray cloud. It'll blow over. You have to want to get out of it. And it's false. It's so completely false. And there are different kinds of depression, and I think that that's something that people don't really consider when they talk about depression, is they kind of like use the word depression and don't really specify anything. So situational depression exists, seasonal depression exists. There's like kind of like an adaptive thing where if you're, for people like say like you relocated somewhere and you're still trying to adjust and stuff like that, you can become depressed temporarily for that as well. But there's also major depressive disorder, bipolar disorder, all different kinds of disorders that kind of suggest that it's like, hey bro, like this isn't just a cloud that's floating over my fucking like sunshine, like this is real shit. And that's kind of what he didn't address. And so I'm going to, because fuck what he said. Let's talk about what I have to say, right? But I will give you guys some quick background about me, and we can go from there. I've been dealing with a mood disorder for about a decade now at this point. I was diagnosed with depression when I was in middle school, and I hid it for a very, very long time from like everybody. Like my mom knew because she was the one that forced me to go to the psychologist because she knew something was wrong with me. But other than that, I was playing like nothing was wrong. Like I didn't take my medication because I was an asshole who didn't listen, and also was just like, no, nothing is wrong, And I didn't want to tell anyone because I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I thought it made me look weak. And I just didn't want anyone to pity me. I didn't want anyone to look at me differently. And then junior year of college, I was re-diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, and that's where I'm at currently with bipolar 2 disorder. And I was taking my meds perfectly, and then I accidentally, I'd consider it, I accidentally took myself off of my medication. But the thing that I wanted to really hone in on in this video is this idea that depression is something that just kind of goes away. It's something that you have, like, if you want it enough, it'll go away. It's more so about your mindset, like your mindset, than it is about anything else. Like, you just have to be motivated to get out of it or anything of that nature. Let's not make light of depression. Let's not do that. Let's not make light of a very serious mood disorder. So one post that I had written on Tumblr 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago, I had quoted something that Elizabeth Wurtzel had said, which said, "That's the thing about depression. A human being can survive almost anything as long as she sees the end in sight, but depression is so insidious, compounds daily, that it's impossible to ever see the end. The fog is like a cage without a key." And then there was like a paper I had written a while before I had seen that quote, and it said, "And the tunnel that seemed to be everlasting suddenly has an end that I can see. It lies far in the distance, foggy, yet a gleaming light still manages to pass through. At times the light feels blinding and I struggle to progress towards it, but it is there, waiting for me, accessible. I may not always be able to control the fog, but I am still in control of how I navigate through it." And I just thought, holy shit, that's so crazy, because here I am, someone who has no idea who Elizabeth Wurtzel is, but loves to look at Goodreads.com and read all the quotes because I'm a quote junkie, finds this quote and is like, I've totally described depression the exact same way. The last part is the part that I want to emphasize for you guys. The last part of what I wrote: "I may not always be able to control the fog," the depression, so how depressed I feel, my depressive episodes, but I'm still in control of how I navigate through it. AKA, like, depression can make you feel like you don't have control of your life. It can make you feel like you don't want to do anything. It can make you feel like you aren't important, that you don't matter to people, that people don't matter to you, all of that stuff. And sometimes that can get really heavy, and there is no light at the end of the tunnel, and sometimes it's lighter. But you get to choose how you navigate through it, meaning, some people say that they just have, no control of their situation. and in some way, like I said, you can't control your depression, but you also can't let your depression control you. You have to be willing to get up. Like, you have to have either the self, I don't even want to use the word motivation because it's like it clashes with what depression does to you, but kind of like you have to have it within yourself to force yourself out of bed, or you have to have people that will hopefully help you get out of bed. You know, you have to have people that will help you through those times, but the key is you have to let people know that that's going on with you as well. And so, like, the main thing I wanted to say is I don't want anyone, and of course I've been dealing with it for like a decade, so I'm very familiar with it now, but I don't want anyone to see anything like that or to hear anybody say, oh, you know, it's just a phase, or, you know, get over it, you're just being weak, this, that, and the third, to think that it really, like, it's like, oh my god, like, they're right, there's just something else wrong with me, like, I can't get over it, I should be over it by now. Like, depression does not work that way. I think it's important that you guys understand that this isn't something that you can just wake up and get rid of, and that's why I hate videos like that, because it's not that way, and I don't want people to think it's that way, and I don't want it, I'm not saying it in a bad way, in a way to bring you guys down, but I want you guys, like, I want it to be realistic. I want you guys to understand what you're facing, that way you know how to battle through it. It's not about this whole thing of get up out of bed, make a decision not to be depressed today. That's not, I don't recommend that route. And I also definitely don't recommend the route I took of denying depression, because that doesn't help anybody involved. I think the key is wake up. And if you're feeling sad, if you want to stay in bed and you can afford to stay in bed, then maybe you just need to stay in bed. And there's nothing wrong with staying in bed as long as the next day you're willing to say, enough, it's time to get up. You know, there's something wrong, but I need to figure out how to get through it. I need to push through it. There's nothing wrong with being sad. Being depressed does not make you weak. It doesn't make you undesirable. It doesn't make you less than other people. It's a mental illness. It's a psychological illness, and you know, and you just have to push through it. But the only way, in my opinion, you can push through something like depression is to say it's okay not to be okay. It is okay to wake up in the morning and not want to get out of bed. Give yourself time when you know you need to take time. Don't always push the envelope. And that's one thing that I wish I would have done differently so much, like throughout my college career, throughout my whole fucking life, really. It's okay to kind of feel like everything around you is darkened. It's okay to feel like you can't see, you know, a day or two ahead of you, as long as you acknowledge, like, hey, you know what, I am not in a good space right now. I need to take some time for myself, and I need to figure out how I can get back to a better space. That's what's important. And that's what I want people to embrace. I don't want people to embrace this bullshit about clouds and fucking you are not depressed, stop saying you're depressed. No, fuck that shit. It is okay not to be okay, and it is okay to feel like your world is not the right world, and it is okay to feel like you need space, or you need time, or you can't talk to people today, or, you know, as much as I hate to say it, it is okay if you feel like you are not hungry. Like, I would prefer that you still try to force yourself to eat something, but I understand, and it is okay. It's okay. And I feel like I just said it's okay like 50,000 times, but like, it is okay. As someone who has been going through this for such a long time, I'm here to tell you, regardless of if you just figured it out, if you've been going through it as long as like, whatever the situation is, if you don't feel okay, I am here to tell you that it is okay not to be okay. It is okay not to be strong all the time. It's okay not to have your guard up all the time. It is okay, it is okay, it is okay. And please do not let anyone convince you at any point in your life that there's anything about depression that demands to be silenced, or there's anything about bipolar disorder that demands to be silenced, or anything you have to say about a mood disorder is irrelevant or doesn't matter because it's just a mood, you know, it'll just go away. But yeah, I mean, I love you guys. On top of that, if you guys ever need to talk to someone, I sometimes like I said, it's okay for you guys not to be in the mood to communicate with people. It's okay for me not to be in the mood to communicate with people. So sometimes I will not get back to you immediately, but usually if I see that it's that kind of message, regardless of what kind of mood I am, I still will. I'll put my contact information for like Tumblr and Twitter, Instagram below, so you guys have different channels to contact me. My Tumblr is probably best if you want to talk to me anonymously without identifying yourself. Um, but yeah, no, I love you guys, and just remember, while I will not say that depression is a cloud in the sky and will fly the fuck away, I will say that, there's always light at the end of your tunnel, and whatever you perceive that light to be, just know that it is there, and you might not be able to see it all the time, but that doesn't mean that you need to give up your hope for it, and that doesn't mean that you're always going to be stuck in the same place. Whoever you are, like, if you feel like you can't fight through things right now, if you feel like it's all too much for you, I promise you that I've been there and I understand, but look at me, I'm still here now. So you don't need to go anywhere. You are good right on this damn earth. And yeah. I don't know what else to say, I guess.